more knowledge. And the theories should be stated very simply in such a way that once the theory is made, it provides explanations of things which should be observed. Mammals are warm-blooded animals. The variables which are there are clearly described. What kind of relationship you will find. There is one variable which is mammals, and I'm saying mammals is a variable because there are variations of mammals. People are mammals, goats are mammals, cattle are mammals, all of them. And the relationship is that as long as these are mammals, this other variable, warm-bloodedness, must be there. There is a relationship between being a mammal and being warm-blooded. Okay?
Yes.
Reptiles are hot-blooded. There is a relationship between being a reptile and cold-bloodedness. So if I find a snake, it's going to be a cold-blooded animal. Okay? So in terms of explanatory power, that statement, mammals are warm-blooded, is a very powerful statement. Okay? It tells you the relationships of the variables. And when you're making a theoretical statement, it must be consistent with observation that has been made. You cannot say all mammals are warm-blooded animals if at one time somebody found that a cow is not warm-blooded. Then the theory falls out. Okay? But as long as everybody who has observed the mammals found that they are all warm-blooded, then that theory still remains strong. So the theory must be consistent with observed facts. And when you make a theory, it must give opportunity for testing and verification. If I make a statement to say all mammals are warm-blooded animals, it provides opportunity for you to test. Because what it means is, if you come across any mammal, you can take that mammal, test its temperature to confirm whether it is warm-blooded. Okay? So the theory gives opportunity. Although elephants may not have been tested, but we know that elephants are mammals, then it gives you opportunity to be able to get an elephant, test it, and confirm whether it is warm-blooded or not. Making sense?
Yes, sir.
So when we talk about theories, they must have all the kinds of but despite all those characteristics we have talked about, we still cannot say this is it. This is the absolute truth, unless all elements in that category or in that class without being tested. And unfortunately, in most situations, that is not possible. And that's why you cannot talk about the truth or being forced. But you can support or reject. And that's why earlier what I was saying that you don't do a hypothesis, you only accept or reject a hypothesis. Because you can only confirm when the empirical data supports. You can disconfirm when the empirical data does not support your observation. Questions? You know, when you say the question today, and you are surprised with me, you are making me worry. Are we talking? Or we are not communicating to each other? You are tired? Okay, 10 minutes. Run around, jump around.
Okay, one more time.
Come back fresh. When the mammals are moving, we are moving, I'm not moving, I'm not mammals. We have been there at the meeting at the 3 to 5. 10 to 12. 10 to 12. What do you do at 10 to 12?
What happened is like 3 options in one time.
Yeah. Well, I gave you the opportunity to discuss, and then thereafter go and separate with the dean of students, because it's the one who is looking at the mix of us or putting them table together. If we try to agree on our own here, we will give them a day of life. So you need to sit down and say, this is dying. All of us are okay.
Zero forward, funding.
Yes?
Zero forward.
No, okay.
We do update?
Yeah.
We're on four, we will. Oh, okay, good, good, good.
Five, minutes.
So we're heading in.
Per minute, another 5.
Yeah, we're heading with 2 minutes. Having gone through the discussion we have had, I now want to talk about the problem statement in more detail, so the critical review in more detail, the methodology in more detail, so that when we are coming up with those things, we know exactly what we are doing. All research should basically start from having a problem which you have identified and the research. Can you say? A problem you have identified, and that the research is being designed to address that problem. So even when coming up with a research title, the title should basically emanate from the problem you have identified. Otherwise, you cannot come up with a clear research title for yourself. So all the research process begins with the problem. And when we talk about the research problem, we are referring to knowledge gap. It involves the question whose answer is being sought. We are looking for information on the knowledge you don't know. We are looking for skills that are not yet known. You want something, you want to know something new. And that's why you engage in research. So the problem I've identified emanates from that lack of knowledge. And there are a number of sources of knowledge you can use. By the way, I've not yet sent these slides. I'll send them. But I'm still building them. So when I send them, I will send them again later with everything in order. So you have to replace. And I'll send it for you to start using them now.
Yes. Yes.
One source of a problem is the experiences we have in life. Let's assume that you were working as a teacher, and you are observing things among your students in class when you are teaching, and you ask questions there. Why are these students anxious when I'm teaching them mathematics? They are very jovial when I'm teaching them English. Why? So it means there is information you want to learn from the experiences you are having in your own work environment. That can become a good research problem, but a mathematical problem, your experiences. You are a farmer, and when you transplant sorghum, when you are transplanting sorghum, if you just uproot and transplant directly, they don't germinate, they die. But when you uproot them and you cut the leaves on top and transplant, they germinate. And you are asking, why? Those of you who have come from villages, most of you have grown up in the city. In the villages, have you observed that? When you are transplanting maize? Oh, you haven't seen that in the agriculture? Oh, you have seen it in agriculture? Yeah. And then you ask yourself, why? There is a knowledge gap. And you can go out to do research to investigate the reasons why this happens. That can be a very good problem for your research, that emanating from the experiences you have had. So experience is one source where you can generate problems for your research. You are promoting small business enterprises, but the people are not making enough profits from those small business enterprises. And you say, why is this so? That can be a good problem statement emanating from what you are experiencing. Or our colleagues in human resources, they are managing people in an organization, but their staff don't seem to be satisfied on the job. And you can ask this question, why are these people not motivated? Why are these people not satisfied with their job? Good research questions, but emanating from experience, from what you have experienced, what you have observed. And such questions lead very well to solving problems which you are experiencing. If you can be able to identify the reason why your staff are not satisfied on the job, then you can do things to correct that situation so that people can be more satisfied with the job from the results of your research. But the same information can also contribute through theory. Okay? Theory can also be problems can also be generated from deduction from theory. You go into the theory and you deduce from the theory and come up with it. Yes?
Deduction from the theory is another sort of space problem.
Yes.
Oh.
Research problems can be generated by deducing from theory. Back to the example we have been using, warm-bloodedness. Mammals are warm-blooded animals. But in your case, you are dealing with a particular mammal that has never been observed, has never been tasted. You are a wildlife expert, and in your expertise, you are dealing with the elephants, and the elephants have never been tested to see whether they are warm-blooded. But from all the literature that you have, it says all mammals are warm-blooded animals. You can ask a question. The fact that elephants are mammals, can we say they are also warm-blooded? Since they have never been observed. But the theory says they must be warm-blooded. Are they warm-blooded?
No.
And that can be a good question for your research. Good problem statement for your research. As you read through various books, the various studies that people have conducted, you can actually generate research problems for that, those theories to come up with those studies that. And the research problems generated from theory place themselves in the right position for contributing towards that theory. The theory says all mammals are warm-blooded animals, but then elephants have not been tested, yet they are mammals. You conduct a study on elephants and you find that they are warm-blooded animals. What are you doing? You are contributing to the theory. You are confirming that theory, and you will be saying, oh yes, what other people found is also being confirmed. Okay? Problem statements can also be generated through review of previous research. I must differentiate here review of previous research is part of the literature. Review of theories is also done in literature. But the theory is something which has already been generalized. You can also find the pieces of research, isolated studies, and from those isolated studies, you can also come up with the problems. In fact, a good research report must have a section of recommendation. And that section of recommendations is normally divided into two. Recommendations for development activities and recommendations for further research. Recommendations for further research come in that when you have done your study, you will come up with your findings. But you still discover that although I've come up with these findings, there is a need for more information to improve my findings. And because you have that, you make a recommendation that once I've done this and I've found this, I'm recommending other researchers to do this in order to go to further strengthen my findings. So you can go into those recommendations and generate problems from there. When those people are saying, I have found this, but other people can do further research in order to do more findings, then they are giving you an opportunity to come up with a research problem. Am I making sense? So, review of previous studies can expose you to problems which you can generate. It can help you formulate research questions that are the next logical step from previous studies. She may have conducted a study on cattle and mammals and found their warm blood. She conducted a study on the donkeys, and the donkeys are mammals, and found that they are warm-blooded animals. She conducted a study on the cats, which are mammals, and found that they are warm-blooded. But nobody has conducted a study on donkeys. I've already mentioned donkeys. Has never conducted a study on lions. You said vaccine.
Badge.
Oh, a badge. Is a mammal? Yes. But nobody has conducted a study on bats. So you say, she conducted a study on the donkeys, dogs, cattle. I am going to go further to conduct my study on bats. Okay? So that's the next logical step we are talking about. Okay? And then, as I said, most the recommendation section, we also provide recommendations for further research. That's another opportunity. So, we have I've mentioned 3 sources, eh? What are those? Experience is one, yes. Reduction, yes. Now, if you have come up with a problem, you also need to test it whether it meets the characteristics of a good research problem, a good problem statement. One of those characteristics is that a good research problem should be one which will contribute to the growth of knowledge in your discipline. And as we're talking about the sources of knowledge, the sources of problems, we said one of those sources is deduction, from theory. Obviously, that one directly going to contribute to theory. But even the ones from experience, people are not satisfied with the job in your organization, and you want to test the reasons why. In the theory, there might have been some people who, or in other research, there might have been other people who could have studied. But in the particular situation in which we are working, they have never conducted a similar study. Let's say you are in a car assembly organization. Those people who have conducted studies are in jobs like in tissue, jobs like in hospital, doctors and the like. But people working in heavy duty activities have never been tested, and they don't seem to be satisfied in your circumstances. Now, when you test and find the reasons, you might find that those reasons can contribute to also what your friends found in the hospital, in the schools, and other places. So you are also contributing to theory. Overall, when you come up with a problem statement, you should be able to ask yourself, so what contribution am I going to make to knowledge or to solving problems? Yes. Questions? A good problem statement must contribute to generation of knowledge which will lead to the organized body of knowledge in the discipline. So those of you coming from business, your research activities, you should see them as things which are going to contribute to your discipline. Those of you coming from community development, you must contribute to community development, or else you are not worthy to have a Bachelor of Science degree. Yes. Those of you coming from child development, you should contribute. If you cannot contribute, not fit to get a BSc. So we are saying Bachelor of Science in science. Yes. So you should be seen to be contributing to knowledge in your own discipline. But the problem which you come up should be one which, after you have conducted your own research, it creates opportunities for others to do further research. It creates opportunities for others to generate other problems. And that's why I was saying that in most research reports, they will have a section on the recommendations for further research. It means you as a scientist, after conducting your own study, you should be able to critically look at what you found and what is missing, not yet found. You remember I said she did a study on mammals, different types of mammals, and you have done yours on bats, which is another type of mammal. But still, there are opportunities for others to conduct further studies. There are lions, there are buffaloes, there are so many other types of mammals. So, when you have done yours, you should say, yes, with the knowledge generated by her, and my own knowledge, I am fulfilling this theory of mammals are all valid. And however, there are still other categories of mammals that have not been tested and have recommended that the other researchers should test this type of mammal, that type of mammal. Okay? And still, as I was saying earlier on, that when you generate your problem from theory, then your study can lead to that theory. And the gaps can also be identified from those theories. But even from the isolated research observations, you should also be able to identify further gaps in those. So your problem should also be an opportunity for others to do further inquiry. Maybe we'll stop there a little bit and say, because I know that at the end of this academic year, we are going to start talking about you coming up with your own research program, coming up with your research proposals. At that point, don't forget these notes. Go back and see, where can I generate a research program for myself? Okay? Questions? A research problem must be researchable. So when you have stated your problem, you should be able to test it, or you should be able to assess it by looking at the variables you are mentioning. And ask yourself, can I measure these variables? Can they be tested? There are many problems in life which are not measurable. Not that they cannot be measured, they can be measured, but we don't have the means to measure them. So as long as you don't have the means to measure them, it's not measurable to you, and it's not a problem for you. It must be a problem which you must be able to provide empirical evidence. So it must be measurable. Mosquito bites versus malaria. You can measure mosquito bites. You can test. You can put people in conditions where one group of people are in a condition where they can be bitten by mosquitoes, they will be bitten by mosquitoes. Another group of people in other conditions where they will not be bitten by mosquitoes. Of course, in terms of ethics, many people will ask you, is this ethical? But it's done. You can take people where, in places where you know this place is an endemic area for mosquito bites. This is an area where there are no mosquito bites, and test those groups of people to see the prevalence of malaria among them. Okay? So it is testable. It is measurable. Fertilizer. This is used. Yeah, you can create a situation where you don't apply fertilizer. Create a situation where you apply fertilizer, maybe different levels of fertilizer application, and you can test the yields. Whether by increasing fertilizer, you are increasing yield. Up to what level will that happen? So that is measurable, testable. So I'm just giving examples. The situation where actually people have come up with a hypothesis to say that when the parents are educated, their children are likely going to be educated as well. If parents are not educated, their children are likely not going to be educated. That's a hypothesis which has been made. And it's a testable problem. If these kids are not educated, why are they not educated? Could it be that because the parents are not educated? You can test it. Okay? So, a problem statement must be stated in such a way that it is testable. I was talking about characteristics of problem statements, and in this slide, this is meant for you now. The factors you want to consider when you are choosing a research problem. The first factor is that the problem you choose must be suitable to you as a researcher.
You say the one which you are doing here, characteristics
Of good problems.
to consider when choosing a problem. Characteristics to consider when choosing a problem.
Yes.
Now we are doing that.
Yeah. To consider. Factors consider when you're choosing a problem. Basically, I'm talking about the characteristics of a good problem. When you look at that problem, you should be able to see these factors are included. If they are not included, then that is not a good problem. But when you are choosing a problem yourself now, as a scientist, you also need to place yourself and say, is the problem I'm choosing the right one for me? Whilst the problem of malaria is a good problem, but you're not a medical doctor. You don't have the skills to do it. So it is not a suitable problem for you. An engineering problem, you're not an engineer, so it's not a suitable problem for you. But stability is the number of factors. Some research problems require time. You cannot finish investigating the problem in 5 years. Now you only have 1 year, you're in 3rd year, and by the end of next year you must get your PhD. Even if that problem statement is a very beautiful one, but it's not suitable for you. You don't want to stay for another 5 years before you graduate. So you look for a problem which is suitable for you. Availability of resources is another factor which you may have to consider in terms of suitability. Some programs are very nice to work on, but they need millions of budgets. Do you have the millions of budget, the millions of dollars? So choose the problem which you as a researcher are going to be able to accomplish with the resources you have. Resources in terms of your own knowledge, resources in terms of time, resources in terms of materials, resources in terms of money, abilities, before you choose the problem or its factors. Questions? If you don't ask me questions, I'm going to ask you questions, and I'm going to be here for the next 20 minutes. Because I'll ask you many questions. Tell me one characteristic of a good research program. Give me that next mandate. Give me one characteristic of a good research program. Bring that one on Monday. Anybody who doesn't bring that will not enter there. Thank you very much for today. Monday. The sign-up sheet. give to this way. So,
She canceled.
Oh,